Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be bringing you a great lesson about calling the office.
Yeah, that's right. So in this lesson, we're going to teach you some great words that you can use when you need to call your office to solve a problem.
Right. So you are at home, you have a problem, maybe you can't go to the office, so you have to call them and tell them that you're not going to be able to go.
Yes.
All right. So we're not going to preview anything today because the dialogue is relatively easy. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back and look at some words.
Hello, hey, annual day iking spay. Au hey, eme I elp, hey uye.
I hate annual day. Uli J, ear hey.
I hey uli j. Au hey aruye.
Actually, I'm eating fe aikwe ilute day.
I'm are say ute ear hey at they. At wezangre.
I hinkte I'm aminke aunde ite hote luve. Ah. I have hey edeg hey orse hote anire osne and I'm eating fe lightly say ivers fe.
I say, o say orye alinke and ixe.
Esye. I aswe open hey ute ete ofte ikurire.
Okay, and they, I tre and et gay say estre.
All right, so a pretty easy dialogue, right?
Yeah, pretty simple.
All right. So there are a couple of words that we want to look at. So let's start with language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, well, today we're looking at 3 interesting words. The first one is oufle.
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 Marco, what is the oufle?
All right, so when you have the oufle, it means that you are sick. You have, it's very similar to a cold.
Right, but just worse, right?
Worse, yeah. So when you have the oufle, it'll keep you in bed for a while, for maybe a week or two.
So you have a fever, your body is hurting.
Yeah.
You're really sick.
Yeah, you're really sick.
Okay.
So, oufle.
All right, well, what about our next word?
Well, actually, the next word is a phrase that you can use when you're calling the office. Alinke in ikse.
Alinke in ikse.
Alinke in ikse.
Okay, this is a really useful phrase, and I think it would help us to hear some examples of what it sounds like so we can understand the meaning.
Example 1.
Orfe ipelpe aldke in ixe udete.
Example 2.
If uye alke in ixe unt one orme aimte, orye iredfe.
Example 3.
I'm at ne ealing fail away. O say I'm alinke in ixe.
So with this phrase, you're basically saying that you are not going to the office.
Exactly.
So let's take a look at our last word for language takeaway. Ikavere.
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 Okay, so it's a pretty simple word. Ikavere means...
To get better, to start feeling healthy again.
Okay, so kind of to recharge your batteries.
Exactly. So this is a great verb to use when you want to say, I'm going to feel better.
Okay, ikavere. So some really great words, some really interesting phrases. So let's listen to this dialogue again, and then we'll come back.
Hello, hey, annual day iking spay. Au hey, eme I elp, hey uye.
I hate annual day. Uli J, ear hey.
I hey uli j. Au hey aruye.
Actually, I'm eating fe aikwe ilute day.
I'm are say ute ear hey at they. At wezangre.
I hinkte I'm aminke aunde ite hote luve. Ah. I have hey edeg hey orse hote anire osne and I'm eating fe lightly say ivers fe.
I say, o say orye alinke in ixe.
Esye. I aswe open hey ute ete ofte ikurire.
Okay, and aitre and etge amse estre.
All right, Marco, have you ever found yourself in a situation like this?
Well, yeah, a couple of times that I haven't been able to really make it to the office,
Yeah.
and I've had to call. So yeah, I would have to call and tell them that I'm not going to make it, or maybe that I'm going to be a little bit late.
All right. Well, yeah, it happens to all of us. And now you guys have all of this useful language next time you face this problem.
Exactly. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to visit our website, englishpod.com.
And Marco and I are there to respond to your questions and comments. As well, there are also lots of other great lessons for you to check out on the website.
Exactly. So be sure to check out some of our first lessons. I'm sure you'll find them useful as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Let's try that faster. Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Amira and I are here today with an interesting lesson about a hotel situation. Amira, why don't you give us a little bit more information?
Well, the situation is taking place in a hotel, and someone is checking in and is obtaining an upgrade.
An upgrade. Okay, that's an interesting word. Why don't we listen to the dialogue and then we'll come back and explain all this vocabulary.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment.
So...
Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby!
Okay, everyone. That is nice, huh?
Yeah, the guy is really excited that he's gonna get the presidential suite.
Yes, there's some interesting phrases and vocabulary items here, and I know, Marco, you want to talk about some of them.
Right, the first one, and this is really useful for all of our listeners who travel a lot, this phrase will come in handy. And it is, I have a reservation under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
So before we explain this phrase, let's listen to some examples on how it is used in other situations, and then we'll come back and give you more information.
My secretary made a reservation under my name.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't have a reservation under that name.
Do you have a reservation under the name Smith?
All right, some really good examples there on how we could use this phrase in other situations, but just in case, let me explain it real fast. Under the name means that when you go to the restaurant or a hotel and you tell them your name, they know that you are the person that they have been expecting. They have been waiting.
Yes. Well, I have chosen another useful phrase for you, and it is mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
There seems to be a mix up. Before we talk about this phrase, let's listen to some examples of how it is used.
There was a mix-up at the airport and my bags were sent to Antarctica.
I'm sorry, sir. There's been a terrible mix-up. We've given you the wrong baby.
Okay, that was useful and funny.
Yeah, that's the baby situation.
Oh my God, imagine that happening.
Yeah, I know.
Well, guys, so a mix-up is a confusion or a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well put.
All right, Marco, what do you have for us?
Okay, the next word that we should take a look at is overbooked.
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 Overbooked. What does that mean?
So if a hotel or a flight is overbooked, it means that they are full. They are more than full.
Right, so they cannot accept any more people.
Exactly.
Okay, now why is this phrase useful?
Because it happens all the time.
There's so many other situations where you can use this word or hear it from other native English speakers. For example, a bus or a train can be overbooked.
Exactly, that's really common. Okay, let's take a look at the last phrase for today, and that is complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
So this means that, for example, when the hotel is overbooked and all of their standard rooms are full, they will give you a better room, a more expensive room, but free.
Yes, because it was not your fault.
Right. This also happens sometimes, if you're lucky, on airplane flights.
Yes.
So if you are in economy class and an airplane, but for some reason it's overbooked, they will move you to business class or first class for free.
I have a similar story, but I'm not going to tell you about it now. For now, let's go and listen to the dialogue one more time, and when we come back, we'll talk some more.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment.
So...
Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby!
I love listening to this dialogue. It's just so nice to see that someone is enjoying his upgrade so much, huh?
Yeah, especially since he was expecting just a really normal room and now he's gonna be treated like a king.
So Marco, have you ever gotten a complimentary upgrade?
Yes, I did. When I was traveling through India, I bought a normal seat in the train, but for some reason, it was overbooked. So I talked to the station manager and I got a complimentary upgrade to first class.
I had a similar experience as well. I was flying from Shanghai to Qatar and I actually had an economy seat, but for some reason they just upgraded me and I was so happy.
Oh, really? Like,
yes.
It wasn't overbooked?
Well, I'm not sure because normally the night flight is not that full, but they upgraded me for some reason and I was so happy. It was an upgrade to first class.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yes.
I would prefer a first class upgrade on an airplane. Yeah, any day.
Well, you know what really amazed me was like the food you get there. You know, you have a 5-course meal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you get all the drinks you can get, right?
Exactly.
Wow, I would be really happy there. All right, everyone, we're out of time today, but be sure to listen tomorrow because we'll be back again with another great podcast. And also, don't forget to go to our website at englishpod.com and leave us all your questions and comments in our community forum.
Yes, and we would also appreciate your suggestions. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. And Marco and I will be back tomorrow with another great lesson for you. But for now, it's bye.
Bye.